Hi guys, today we'll talk about SQL injection guys. So we'll spend around 1 hour to understand on SQL injection. Like what is SQL injection guys? SQL injection is an attack where attacker enters the malicious SQL commands in the place of user input, and if it is accepted by the application and if it forms the query in the backend, then the attacker can execute the malicious code. So this is the basic definition, so for that you to understand. So in layman words, I'm trying to say is what is SQL injection means. Like where in the place of username and password, the attacker will actually put the SQL code there, like what are the select queries or drop table queries, insert queries, and if that query is executed in the backend, then attacker can read the records from the database or can insert the records in the database. Attacker can also create the files on the server using the SQL functions using out underscore file, or he can also read the files on the server using the load underscore file functions guys. So now where SQL injection can happen, like for example, where do we check actually, like for example, like if there is a website, with what pages it will start with, like registration pages, right? Registration page, and then after registering, what you could do, you will try to log in, and then like if there is a profile change page, yes, there could be profile change page, then change password page, forgot password page. You can check for SQL injection on all these pages guys. Why? I'm gonna show you now. For example, like I'm going to this folder after a very long time, like maybe I always use this, right? This one, Datrak. Okay, let me try to open the website in GUI guys first. Okay, it's already there, like localhost slash Datrak. Now if I try to open the sign up page, it is trying to open registered.php, right? So now what this page is doing guys, it is loading the config.php which we talked so many times. That's okay. Now what happens after entering the username and password, here in the same page your data is storing in the database, right? Whenever you enter the details, like in the registration page, your username and password, that will be inserted into the database. So there are chances that, not chances, the attacker can check for SQL injection on this page, because using these two input fields, username and password, in the backend the query is forming, right? Can you see here? Insert into, that is the registration page guys, username, password. So those variables are, SQL injection can be checked on those variables. And what is the other page? Can you check it on the login page? Maybe I deleted this file before. Okay, index.php, that is the file. By default it's loading, right? Whenever you enter your username and password here, like in the page, it is passing to index.php, because by default if there is no file name here, that means index.php only, right? When you enter your username and password, here its query is forming in the backend, right? So that means here the attacker can give SQL query in the place of username and password. Here the query is forming with only username at this moment here initially. So with the help of username itself, you can form the, like you can, what I'm trying to say is, you can enter the SQL query in the place of username too. So we checked for username and password. Let me try to register quickly guys. Maybe I think I remembered. Okay, Uday ABCD QWRTY QWRTY. what did I do? Like Uday ABCD. Okay, maybe it could have been successfully registered. I made some changes, guys, maybe because of that. Bear with me. Like Uday ABCD WRTY. Yes, now it logged in. Reset password page, guys. There is a reset password because since your username password is already stored in the database, the new password should be updated in the database, right? That means attacker can also check for SQL injection here, and same on the password change page. Sometimes the change search page also vulnerable to SQL injection, guys, because like whatever you enter it will be searched in the database. And also there is like, what do you say, like the other pages, this is disgusting. Like I'll try to change again, but I don't remember like what I have done before. There is something like update profile page, guys. There is some update profile page, so we can change our username and password. This will be updated in the database. Here first name and last name. So here also you can check for SQL injection because these records will be updated in the database, right? Whenever add comments, your comments will be stored in the database all the times. So SQL injection can also be checked in the add comments page, because whenever any other user visits the page, he can see the comments, right? How they can be seen? Only because all the whatever you chat in the Facebook, everything will be stored in the database. That's the reason every time when you visit, you can see that, even though if you clear your browser history also, and even though if you visit from another machine, you can see your previous chat history. That means it is storing in the database only. Transfer money, guys, is that page vulnerable to SQL injection? Yes, because before sending the money, it should check for how much money you have in your database. So now I covered like on which all pages you can check for SQL injection. Now okay, which languages can be vulnerable, guys, SQL injection? Like Java, .NET, PHP, almost all the languages which uses backend, like which forms queries in the backend. Okay, now okay, so SQL injection payloads, guys, you need to search in the GitHub, like search in GitHub, guys. You know how to use them using the intruder. After my session you will be understanding it. Before going further, I would like to show you a couple of my one of my video, how your website can be hacked. Uday Datrak. Yes, I have detailedly explained about SQL injection here, guys. Let me just forward. I don't remember, this was my 4 years old video. I'll also tell you the timestamp from where it is. We are checking for something. Okay, yeah, so I was checking for XVW application, the SQL injection here for a particular parameter, guys, from 38th minutes 30. It is like, I covered in depth, like using SQL injection, how an attacker can like read the records from the database and all the records. Yeah, so what can hacker do, guys, with SQL injection? Again, what can hacker do with SQL injection? Like CRUD, people remember something like this, guy. CRUD means create, update, read, delete. So for the create, the query will be used to insert SQL query. Update, that is the same thing. Read is select, and delete is something like drop. These are the simple things can be done. Like the attacker can read the records from the database, delete the records from the database, and update the records in the database. Hacker can read all the usernames and passwords from the database. Hacker can also read the other web applications databases which are installed on the same server. The hacker can create the files on the server, delete the files on the server, like using the if there are some vulnerable functions are enabled, like load file or load underscore file and out file functions, guys. So now, as I discussed about XVW application SQL injection in that video, you can watch that for 30 minutes, guys, and then come back and watch this video. Now please pause. Now we'll talk about the basic SQL injection on view profile page, guys. For example, if I entered 1 here, it is reading the Uday Datrak details, guys. If I enter 2, guys, it is showing up. Please watch that video and then come back, guys. You will feel very good about it. Now once, like, you will become more comfortable understanding the SQL injection. Yes, now I'll be showing you the code of this, guys, this application. Okay, now before going further, yes, we need to 4 important key factors you need to know. First one is this is the vulnerable code, guys. This application is vulnerable to SQL injection, where it is accepting the ID parameter value and then it is connecting, it is forming a query in the backend, like select username from users where ID equal to, if you enter 1, it will load the username from that particular record. If you enter 2, it will read from, like, this is the query we are forming in the backend. The first important thing which you need to know, what is the with which username and password you are connecting to database. What is the username, guys? Here, root. Why you need to know that? I'll be showing you now, like in the PHP myadmin, because these basics will be help you a lot. With these basics, in future you can learn anything, like bug bounty write-ups you can read by yourself. My motto is to teach you in depth, very strong in basics, so that you can learn 100 bug bounty write-ups in 100 minutes. I don't want to waste your time, like 2-factor authentication. Now itself spending lot of time on that, guys. Like, we can bypass 2-factor authentication by like 10-20 ways, even SQL injection, cross-site scriptings also. Now what I'm trying to say is user accounts, right? Whenever you create this is to create a database username and password here. When I click on the add user account here, I want to create one user in the database now with name as hello, password is hello itself, retype password, okay, and not required. Now if you come down here, these are the very important, guys, privileges. You need to know the privileges. The first important factor is privileges of the user account. When you go to OWASP means Open Web Application Security Standards, they will be talking about SQL injection prevention. The first step is privileges of user account. So that's the reason I am also talking about these things. So let's say here on this particular page, what query we are forming, guys? Only select query, right, for this root user. But root user by default has all the privileges, but I don't want to give all the dangerous privileges rights to him. So what I can do is I can only click on select, create, update, not even delete. File is also not required. So now a database user created with a hello username. Now if you give, like here, while connecting to the database hello username, he cannot delete the database even if your application is vulnerable to SQL injection. He cannot delete the records because our rights are limited here. If you give check all, then everything, too many rights will be given to that user, like shut down command, show databases, lock tables, kind of grant administrative privileges kind of things, drop commands. So we talked about privileges. That means whenever you are trying to execute drop command or any other drop query, if your records is not getting deleted, you may also need to think that the application is might be having the low privileges database user account. The second one, this is, I'm talking in depth guys, these all things are not required, so you don't have to remember a lot, just watch it. In order to confirm an SQL injection vulnerability, it is very easier. So I can show you the basic steps, and also to find out the advanced level of SQL injection is also easier guys. There are lots of famous tools like SQL map is there, which can check like very accurately all those like SQL injection. You don't need to worry about that. The second thing is that like how the query is formed in the backend. Now here if you see the code, how query is forming in backend. This is called inline queries guys. That means it is taking the user input and directly forming here, right? Sometimes you will see something like this with the question mark. That means they are using the prepaid statements with bind parameters. That means your application code, your SQL code, SQL query will be treated as user input itself, but not, once again, your SQL query will be treated as, I'll put that your malicious, malicious SQL query or command, we call it as a command, will be treated as data itself but not SQL code. So this is the fix guys actually. So I'll also show you my fix code guys, just to show you, like if you could see here, we are binding parameters for that. Like this is one of the approach, like colon ID, and then colon ID can be used, and also question mark is also used for this, like stored procedure approaches and prepaid statements with bind parameters. So whenever you see some bind parameters in the backend, that means your application is protected against the SQL injection. So even though if you enter all those SQL queries, the SQL injection may not work. Now third thing is, what is the function which is they are using to form the query in the backend guys. Like for this particular function, which is the function we are using it to form the query in the backend, like MySQLi query, right? So if you could see the description about this function, if you search in Google, it will say as you cannot pass two SQL statements at once to this particular function. That means if you try to pass, even if the application is vulnerable to SQL injection, if you try to delete the records from the database using the drop table, like drop table name, like semicolon drop table name, then that command will not be executed because it supports only one statement at once. So these are the things guys. Now let's try to check for SQL injection now. First of all, I need to confirm whether it is an integer or string. Based on that, the query will be formed. For example, like if I put 1, it is showing Uday Datrak, right? Now in order to confirm whether it is a string or integer, what I'm going to do is 2 minus 1 I will give, which is nothing but 1 only, right? Then it should show Uday Datrak only, like, okay, yes, it's correct. Let me confirm once again guys, this one. If I give as 2, it is showing Uday Datrak 1, right? Now if I give like 4 minus 2, it should show the same, like yes, or else 5 minus 3. It's not necessary to exactly to make it half. So you guys understanding, right? Yes. Now it is an integer itself, so I don't need to worry about giving single quotes or double quotes now. Okay. Now in order to confirm the SQL injection, I have already uploaded 10 plus POC videos, guys. I have scheduled it, like daily 1 or 2 videos will be made public. In this video I will only show the POC to confirm the SQL injection vulnerability, guys. Now I will try to give like 4 to 5 things. Now I will directly give as like 5 minus sleep 3. Sleep 3 means 3 seconds. Now if you could see, it will take 3 seconds to load. 1, 2, 3. Like, okay, yeah, because it is like it is treated as function, it is still loading. I forgot, I have many records in the database, guys, so I'll tell you before going further. Now okay, 5 and sleep 3. Now it will take 3 seconds to load the page. Can you see, guys, to confirm the vulnerabilities? Yes, exactly took 3 seconds. Now we can say the application is vulnerable to SQL injection because sleep function got executed. This is one approach, guys. I'm trying to make very easily. Now if the spaces are not allowed, I mean if there is any white listing or black listing is there, then you can use hyphen sleep, like hyphen sleep. Yeah, now it should take only, like if I put sleep 1, it should take only 1 second, right? But it's taking like 1, 2, 3, like it's still loading 4, 5. It is taking so much of time. That means this application is vulnerable to SQL injection. I'll tell you why, guys. For this we need to go back to phpMyAdmin. The time depends upon the number of records in the database, guys. For example, in this, how many records are there, guys? 17 records are there, right? Now even if I put as sleep 1, it will be, this function will be executed in every single row, guys. So it will take 17 seconds. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe my counting is very slow, like so you can also check the timer, guys, so that should be fine. So that's how you can check. I covered another approach. Now I'll be talking about the blind SQL injection, guys. Blind SQL injection is nothing but you are executing commands like 1 and space 1 equal to 1. Now what happens is id equal to 1, this record is there in the database, and then 1 equal to 1 means true, guys, which is nothing but true means like both statements will become true because id equal to 1, which is there in the database, and this statement is true. Because of that, the whatever is there in the id profile as 1, it will show. Now for example 1 and 1 equal to 1. Now if you put and 1 equal to 2, it will not show any records from the database, because even though this id equal to 1 data is there and 1 is equal to 2 is false, right? True and false is nothing but false, so you will not be seeing any records from the database. So this is another way to confirm the vulnerability, guys. So if there is any, like now in the place of and, if you put or 1 equal to 1, it will read all the records from the database. Which records it will read, guys? For example, it depends upon the code which they are using in the backend. For example, what they are reading in the backend, guys, like select username from users. So they are only reading username column data, which is this one. So now when I enter 1 or 1 equal to 1, it will show all the records here. Forget about that like SQL injection script, guys, because that I entered to test at the time of registration before. If you could see, all these are the records like Uday ABCD. Like if you come back here, that's the last record, Uday ABCD, and like JSSS, like one by one it is showing all the things, guys. Now let's say there is a firewall is implemented and it is behind the Cloudflare. They have intrusion detection system, they have whitelisting validation, they have blacklisting validation. Still, if they have not implemented any prepaid statements with bind parameters in the back end, still the SQL injection can be possible. How, guys? I'll simply enter, like here in the place, my favorite one is like I'll try to guess the column name here. Like if you see, like from which column they are trying to read, guys, where ID equal to this, right? So if I enter ID equal to simply ID, it will record all the, it will show all the records from the database, guys. This is one of the trick, easy trick, like but for that you need to find out what is the column they are using. You cannot give other column name, guys. For example, the username column you cannot give here. See, you can only give the column name from where they are trying to read actually, like yes, select username from ID equal to, like, right? Now if you don't know this thing, how you can confirm the vulnerability, guys? There is one more trick, very easy trick. Try to pass true statement, then it will show the first record in the database. Let's confirm whether it's first or not. ID equal to 1, Uday Datrak, yes. Now if I give true, yes. Now if you want to confirm, like prove it, we can also delete the record here. Yes, I deleted. Now second, it should show Uday Datrak 1. Like if I give true, what happened? Like okay, maybe I need to restart the connection to the database, I believe. Yeah, so that's how the things. Now what is the another approach, guys, to confirm like these things? Now I'm gonna find out the number of columns, guys. For that, like since it is integer itself, I'm gonna give space order space by 1. I don't think beginners need all these things, but I'm still covering. Your job is to find out you confirm whether SQL injection or not. But for advanced, I already covered in my previous video. This is one more another example for that, guys. Now order by 1, it is showing the records. Now if I enter order by 2, it is showing unknown columns. That means I have identified the column as union all select 1. If yeah, now here I can give all the functions, guys. At the rate version it is showing the database version here. At the rate database, it will also show the database. It will also show the database name used in the application, and at the rate data dir, it will also show the database path. So you can execute too many commands, but I don't want you to check all this at this moment. What I want is, now after watching my video, try to install XVW application and try to follow all the steps which I covered. Union all select, like what is union all select, I have already covered in that video. Again, I don't want to make this as a lengthy video, guys. So if you want to confirm SQL injection, you can simply pass the sleep command, which I said, and 1 equal to 1, which is nothing but the blind SQL injection. Like based on the conditions, it is showing the records from the database, sleep function, or else you can directly pass the column name here. And in the next 10 days you can see 10 plus videos I will be uploading on SQL injection POC, guys. Those are short 1 to 2 minute videos itself. uh, in the later sessions I will show you how effectively you can confirm SQL injection vulnerability using automated tool itself. You don't need to remember bunch of commands. Like I remembered like 100 plus commands, and later I felt those all are not required. You don't need to remember all those key things. I'll show you an easy approach, guys. Thank you.